This
the
conference will now
cytoplasm.
be recorded.
Okay, so protoplasm, cytoplasm, and also whatever the organelles are there, what about every organelle function is there. Okay, so we have to study each and everything. Okay, so please next slide. This is our subject objective. So we should know about the principle and the components of a cell and types of biomolecules, and understand how the role of cell organization and different types of chemical reactions involved in maintaining high degree of internal order in the sense. You see, so principle and the types of cell and whatever the biomolecules are there and whatever the role of each and every biomolecule. Okay, we know the biomolecules which are present in our body system, and for every biomolecule have every important function. So for example, everyone has its structure function on the structure, and also for to make cell important functions. Okay, for structure some biomolecules are important, for function for some biomolecules are important. Okay, so each and everything we are going to discuss. Yeah, next please. Biochemistry. So I already told you chemistry background. Okay, so chemistry and biology is important. So in biology, we are going to discuss about the chemistry. So that is cellular and molecular level. We are going to discuss in the sense that is biochemistry. In living system, we are going to discuss the chemical reactions which are happen in cell and molecules. Cell molecular level interaction we are going to study. Okay. It emerged as a distinct discipline around the beginning of the 20th century when scientists combined chemistry, physiology, and biology to investigate the chemistry of living systems. Okay. So, studying the structure and behavior of the complex molecules found in biological material, okay, interact to form cells, tissues, and whole organisms. So, these are all theory informations. Okay. So, now we are going to talk about the mechanism. Okay, for each and every line you just read this. Okay, this is not this is just background information, but we are going to learn important informations in cell. Okay, next. Okay, so basic structural unit of living organism is cell. Okay, organized and constant source of energy is required to maintain the ordered state. Yes, if it is organized perfectly in the sense, the important reactions will be happened. Okay, so the important reactions in the sense, why they will be happen? Because to liberate energy. Okay, to make a big molecule, it needs energy. To build a big molecule, it needs energy. Okay, so when the cell debris, so automatically, I mean, when the cell breaks down, the time the energy will be broken. So automatically we can use the energy. Okay. So to make and also to break, the energy is important, right? So living processes contains thousands of chemical reactions per second, 500 quadrillions amounts of reactions will be happen. Okay, 500 quadrillions per second happened in our cell. Okay, for every cell, for every cell. So this is regulation and integration of these reactions are required to maintain life. Yes, every reaction is important to maintain a cell structure and also function. Okay, if a cell structure and function, if it properly maintained, automatically tissue will be maintained properly and it will make organ will do its work properly, and automatically parts will do its work properly, and automatically our whole system is normal. Okay, we are healthy baby, right? Okay, such an important reaction. So what are the reactions are happened? So many. I already told you, know, 500 quadrillion reactions per second. Like, so this is basic. I mean, glycolysis is a basic reaction, and it yields energy, and also this is external. I mean, all organisms use the same type of molecules like carbohydrate, protein, lipid, and nucleic acid. Okay. So, when compared to other metabolic reactions, if glycolysis, come to our glycolysis basic thing is carbohydrate metabolism. Okay, so carbohydrate metabolism is what are the important substrate needed. Okay, so the biochemistry is based on the transformation. Okay, transformation in the sense reactant will be converted into product. That is transformation. One type of formation transferred to another type of formation. One formed cell transferred to another form. Okay. So the reactants will be converted into product. Okay, so that is transformation. So here the transformation occur in the sense carbohydrate form of glucose or glycogen can enter into glycolysis. Okay, that is reactant. Who is the reactant in glycolysis? There is two. One is glycogen or glucose. Okay, so if you take your food normally, I mean regularly in the sense, for your glycolysis, the substrate is glucose. Okay, no, you are not taking your food morning, afternoon, and also night. Two times or three times you didn't take your food. Okay, so how your cells can get energy? So already your food molecules, that means your carbohydrate, that means your glucose, extra glucose stored in the form of glycogen. No, so that glycogen stored in your adipose tissue. Okay, so automatically when you feel faint, okay, you are not taking any food. Okay, that time also you can walk, you can laugh, you can do your work. Okay, not that much energetic in the sense you can't faint, you can't go depressed. Okay, you are doing normal in the sense glycogen involved in this glycolysis. Okay, so this is two category. Glycolysis can use two reactant. Okay, reactants means substrate. Okay, so the substrate whether glucose or glycogen, right? So this is glycolysis. Endothermal, exothermal reaction, you know. Okay, so this is exothermal reaction. Okay, because energy we can get out of 10 ATP molecules, we can get 8 ATP molecules, and the 2 ATP molecules will be utilized. Okay, right. Next, all organisms use the same type of molecules: carbohydrate, protein, lipid, and nucleic acid. You see, these are all types of molecules, not okay, because we know different types of molecules in our body system. Okay, so that is biomolecules. So among these biomolecules, I mean these biomolecules, you can categorize the shape and also structure wise. Okay, I mean micronutrient, macronutrient we know, large molecule and also smaller molecules we know. Okay, so if our body system needs so much amount of the particular molecules in the sense that is called as macronutrients. Okay, so if it needs, I mean it needs important things, but their needed quantity is very less, so that is minor. Okay, that is micronutrient, right? So this carbohydrate, protein, lipids, nucleic acids, these needs highly. Okay, so that is macromolecule, and the micro in the sense micronutrient in the sense vitamins and also minerals, those are all micronutrients. So these are all macronutrients, biomolecules. So in the sense, so I mean you see the same sentence I can give another one information. Carbohydrate, protein, nucleic acids are macro. Okay, because those are all polymer. Okay, so poly, many, mer, unit. Okay, so many units are joined together to make a macromolecule. Okay, so for you see, for this carbohydrate, polymer, proteins, polymer, nucleic acids, polymer. You see, I mentioned polymer in the sense big molecule in the sense these three only. I didn't mention these lipids because that is not polymer. Okay, so the only one glycerol and the fatty acid needs to make this lipid. Okay, so polymer in the sense you see for this so many monomers needed. Okay, for carbohydrate monomer is monosaccharide. For protein, building blocks, that is amino acids. For nucleic acid building block, nucleotides, right? So whenever you people read one sentence, you can take so many informations regarding that. You can link so many informations. Okay, you should not mug up, right? So you can collect the informations, exact informations, and if it in that some formation also you should do. Okay, so you should practice yourself to do some, right? Instructions for growth, reproduction, and developments for each organism is encoded in their DNA. You see, I already told you to form the cell and also to break the cell. I mean, formation, so many metabolisms are there to form the molecules. To break the molecule, so many reactions are there. Okay, so collectively called as metabolism. Okay, all those interactions, all those reactions, what are those happening in our system? So collectively called as metabolism. Okay, if you people make one molecule in cell in the sense that is anabolism. If you break to get the energy to some molecules, that is called as catabolism. Okay, so instructions for you see you come to this point. Instructions for growth, instructions for reproduction, instruction for development. Okay, the important one needed is hormone. Okay, when the hormone come and bind on the receptor, and when it enters through plasma membrane and go through cytosol and reach the nucleus, there in that nucleus itself we can find the important one information is chromatin. Okay, so the chromatin contains this DNA, chromosome, and other proteins. Okay, so nucleosome we know, no? So all protein and also other components which are present. So this is our informations about DNA. Next, Shivam, please next. Cells. Okay, basic building blocks of life. Yeah, cell is basic building blocks of life. Smallest living unit of an organism is very smallest unit. Grow, reproduce, use energy, adapt. We can see every information in our cell cycle and cell division. Okay, right. We cannot be saying with the naked eye. Yes, by using microscope, we can see the cell. The cell may be an entire organism or it may be 1 billions of cells that make up the organism. Yes, unicellular and also multicellular organisms we know, no? So that is they mentioned here, right? Basic types of cell, right? Cell, prokaryotic, eukaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, animal cell and plant cell like we people can. So next please. Prokaryotic, eukaryotic. So we know very well the main difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Carrion, that means nucleus. Okay. Biotic, living organism, right? Otic, living organism. Carrion in living organism nucleus. Pro, that means one when one thing formed completely, the before stage is called as pro. That is not at all formed. It is ready to form, but is not formed yet. Okay, that's pro. Okay, prior stage is called as pro, right? So in living things, nucleus not formed completely. Okay, so that is prokaryotic, not the defined nucleus present in prokaryotic. Eukaryotic, yes, otic, biotic, carrion, nucleus, U, true. Okay, I mean well-defined nucleus is there. Right. So here, okay, ma'am, there is no nucleus. There is no nucleus in prokaryotic organisms. Nuclear material is there in the form of nucleoid. Okay, OID. That is in the liquid form, not in packed form. Okay, So if you pack one thing in the sense you want any cover or box, okay, or bottle, okay. So that is please give me water bottle in the sense you will bring bottle. Okay, please give that oil bottle. Like if your mother asks, that means you will give her that bottle, oil bottle. Okay, that means that liquid is contained in a bottle or box. But if you open it and then you pour on floor, like, okay, so if any cover is here or the bottle will break in the sense, automatically the liquid will come and all the information is coming out. Okay, if whether it is oil or liquid. Okay, so that is called as oid, OID. Okay, so nucleoid in the sense your material is there, but it is not covered up. Okay, so that is nucleoid. So nucleoid, where it is present? It is present in prokaryotic. Okay, so the full formed nucleus present in eukaryotic, right? So is come to these prokaryotes. Prokaryotes include bacteria and other lactal nucleus or membrane bound structures called organelles. Okay, so the main thing is you have to point out on nucleus. So other things in the sense after the nucleus, important organelles or membrane bound organelles. Okay, so we know very well single membraned organelle, membraneless organelle, and also double membraned organelles. Okay, so double membraned organelles. So what are they in our eukaryotic cell? Know very well, endoplasmic reticulum, and also our nucleus. Okay, so Golgi body and the mitochondria. These are double membraned organelles. So those organelles not present in our prokaryotes, and all those organelles with um, uh, either is membrane or with cell cover. Okay, I mean, so cell cover in the sense our plant contains, right? So those are all in eukaryotes. So next, okay, okay. So my question: cell wall present in, okay, if they ask in the sense you know very well, bacteria and also plant. Okay, plant, I mean cell wall, important. Outermost organelle type. Okay, if you focus on the cell structure in the sense the first outermost layer is cell wall. Okay, not present in almost all species. It is not present in animal cell, but present in bacteria, fungi, like, and also in plants. Nuclear region contains the DNA, cell membrane, cell wall, ribosomes to make proteins in it. So if you see for every organelle we should know the structure and their component and their function. Okay, for example, if I ask which is the which organelle doing the formation of protein, that like protein factory. Okay, you know very well that is endoplasmic reticulum. After manufacturing all types of proteins, which one sorting and packaging and allowing to transfer by producing the vesicle, that organelle name is Golgi bodies. Okay, so like that for every organelle we should know the function. Okay, so for doing their function, what about its structure? Its structure contains, like, for example, that's a coil structure, loop-like structure present in the sac-like organelles, dash dash. Like we should know each and every organelle's shape and also their structure and their function. So that is very important for our competitive examinations. So basic cell structure, nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm with organelles. Okay, so from this slide, I will ask one question. What is protoplasm? So that is very basic question only. Okay, but we should know, we should start our information to collect the information from basic only. No, okay. So cytoplasm and the nucleus, the formation is called protoplasm, right? So protoplast. At the same time, if you come to when you cross the plasma membrane, okay, the whole information. So that is the formation of structure of your cell. That is cytoskeleton, okay, which is present in the cytosol, cytoplasm. So we know that, but it is divided into two types, no? exoplasm and also endoplasm. Okay, so if you cross the plasma membrane and put forth to that cytoplasm from the initial to up to that nucleus. You see, this is cytoplasm. Okay, so you cross this plasma membrane. Okay, this light blue color, this shade, no. So this is cytoplasm. So what am I telling you? So up to this cytoplasm, exoplasm. Okay, so these are all exoplasm. I don't mention this endoplasmic reticulum and vacuoles and lysosome. Like I didn't I don't talk about these organelles. Okay, this blue center part, no. So I'm talking about this gel-like structure. Okay, the little hard. Okay, so this is this area exoplasm. So when you people enter into this nearest to that nucleus, okay, few inches layer of the gel, which is very soft when compared to this area. Okay, because exo is somewhat hard compared to endo. Okay, so this is very smooth. And also I mentioned gel. Okay, here gel like substance, no. Here not gel like. Okay, if you dissolve the gel in water, okay, like that very smooth consistency here. Okay, this is endoplasm. So here nuclear membrane. So nearest to that nuclear membrane, the endoplasm is there. So the almost other parts covered by exoplasm. So like that, we have to study each and everything about our cell and organelle and up to that functions in our biochemistry. Okay, next. So next, main types of eukaryotic cell. Okay, so plant cell and also animal cell. Right. So this contains cell wall. I already mentioned to you there is no cell wall. Right. Cell wall in the sense of primary cell wall, secondary, and also almost that plasmolemma. Okay, so we have to talk about that cell wall structure, right? Come to here, cell membrane only is there. There is no cell wall. Other than that, here and I mean these two between these two cells, we can find out some difference like um, vacuole, vacuole present here or here. Like if they ask vacuole present here in large shape, but vacuole here also present but in very small size. Okay, and here you know very well chloroplast is there. There is no chloroplast. Okay. So like so many very small difference are there. Okay, between these two. Right. Next, biomembrane and organelles. Okay, so we people going to start. What about the cell and what about the organelles and the cell components? Why? What are the cell components are there to make a cell to be very compact and also do its work very properly, perfectly like plasma membrane. Plasma membrane contains, we will ask in that option, whatever the components highly present in plasma membrane. Okay, so for that question, the answer is lipid and protein, not carbohydrate. Highly present, there they will ask, and although they will mention highly present molecules in plasma membrane is lipid and also protein. Okay, so the combined form of mixture of carbohydrate with protein and mixture of lipid with protein and mixture of lipid and carbohydrates and mixture of carbohydrate and protein, like mixture of components are there, lipoprotein, glycoprotein, like providing a barrier. I mean, important component in plasma membrane, phospholipid. Okay, because phospholipid very important in the sense when it breaks down, phospholipid when it breaks down, it will give two important components. Inositol triphosphate and also diacyl glycerol. So these are all very important. From these we can get super ions like calcium. Okay, so calcium ions, when it moves through the ion channel, and it will form the signal, and also it will give, it can speed up the reaction and it accelerates the reaction when we get an energy. Okay, so for the phosphorylation reaction, those are very important. Okay, so next, nucleus. Yes, I already told you. Among the double membraned organelles, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, our Golgi apparatus, and mitochondria, nucleus, which is present in center. Okay, central organelle, right? Double membrane surrounding the chromosomes and the nucleolus. Pores allow specific communication with the cytoplasm. The nucleolus is a site for synthesis of RNA making up the ribosome. Okay, so come and see this structure. So here, if when you draw the structure about nucleus, okay, so you should not use the nuclear layer without any interruption. Okay, you should make a gap. Okay, here is gap, this gap is there, no? So like, you have to give some gap between this full round. Okay, so what is that gap? Okay. Why you people can't draw like this? Here you see, this is a full round. Okay, but here not like that. Pores are there, large pores, right? That is called as nuclear pore, right? So when you draw the double membrane layer, you people show me some gaps. Okay, so that is called as nuclear pore. So through this pore, what will go? Because each and every membrane, you see, this is double membrane. Okay, so here double membrane, right? So when we people use the word membrane itself, membrane contains pores. Okay, if you take one membrane in the sense, it contains so many pores. If the layer contains pores only, it is called as membrane. Okay, then what is the need? It has, this membrane has a big pore. Okay, already the membrane has the pore, no? Then what is the special pore is here in the sense to move a large molecule. Okay, you see, this is inside of the nucleoplasm, right? So here replication and also transcription will be occurred. Okay, we know very well replication and the transcription and the translation. These are central dogma of our molecular biology. Okay, so the first two process will be happen in nucleus. The third one is I mentioned, translation. It won't occur in nucleus. It will be occurred in cytoplasm. Okay, so because of the first two process replication, we can get a doubling of DNA, and transcription from the DNA we can get messenger RNA. Especially we can mention not mRNA. So that is pre-mRNA to matured mRNA we can get in transcription. Okay, matured mRNA, when we can get that time, that matured mRNA will come from this nucleus to the cytoplasm. Okay, for what purpose? It will go and bind on ribosomes. Okay, so after when it receive the tRNA and also rRNA, it in ribosome it go and bind on the rRNA, and when the tRNA will come, automatically we can produce protein, right? So that's why here pore is there, nuclear pore. Okay, so what's the difference between normal pore which are present in the membrane and nuclear pore present in between these? Okay, so the nuclear pore, it allows a big molecule like RNA and also other protein, right? DNA never go out. Okay, DNA never go out from the nucleus to cytoplasm. Only protein and also RNA will go through this large pore. A small pore like our electrolytes. Okay, all those can come and go. The movement perfectly will be occurred by using through these membrane pores. Okay, so next, mitochondria. Okay, so why we people are doing our work much? Okay, in our earth, in on earth, we people are doing so much of work because to get food. Okay, so for getting food only, we people are doing so much work, right? So what's the need of food? It gives energy. okay, for I mean the energy only support our survival. Okay, so mitochondria is the powerhouse of cell, we know. Okay, so it gives so much of ATP, and that ATP is needed for our each and every metabolism. Okay, so yes, rough endoplasmic reticulum I already told. Okay, here protein will be synthesized and smooth endoplasmic reticulum lipids, right? Golgi apparatus, sorting and packaging, transferring pro proteins, and lysosome debriefs our cells. Okay, and it will helpful for our immune activity also. Next, vacuole. So vacuole already mentioned. This is a very big. I mean, they will ask the question: which organelle is very big in the sense based on the shape? Okay, based on the weight. They will ask two types of questions in plant. Which organelle is a large molecule based on shape in the sense that is vacuole? Okay, which organelle is very big based on the um, molecular weight in the sense that is plastics. Okay, so vacuole is a very big shaped molecule in a plant and very small in our eukaryotes of animals. Peroxisome and also microbodies. Okay, so peroxide produced in the peroxisome organelle, right? So microbodies, or I mean, we can insist the name microbodies instead of peroxisome, because those can produce peroxides and also at the same time it can degrade. Okay, it can produce as well as degrade the hydrogen peroxide. So little amount of hydrogen peroxide is must. Okay, it can do its work like free radicals. Okay, I mean do its work like it can go and bind with other ions easily, like. So when its level is increased, if the hydrogen peroxide stored high amount in the sense, automatically it will become toxic. Okay, so we have to breaks the hydrogen peroxide into water and also oxygen. The cell wall, yeah, rigid cell type, right? Rigid cell types in the sense, different kinds of layers are there. Okay, primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, plasmalemma. Okay, like cytoplasm enclosed by the plasma membrane. I already told you. After the plasma membrane, the whole part is, which is present in the cell. Cytoplasm, lipid portion called cytosol. We have this membranes, organelles. Okay. Cytoskeleton, microtubules, and microfilament. Okay, so where you people use the word highly in the sense in cell division. Microtubules, tubulin proteins there to produce microtubules to separate our chromosomes. Okay, so this cytoskeleton, which is highly using, these are all cytoskeleton. Okay, okay, next. So next, biomolecules. Okay, so we use the word interaction, like, right? Biochemistry in the sense we have to study the chemistry informations in our living system. So the chemistry, we have to talk about atom molecule, no? So that molecules here, biomolecules. Okay, so to make a biomolecule, whatever the atoms are there in our body system, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and also nitrogen and phosphorus, they will ask, okay, what are the components order makes the system, human system, in the sense they will give the option in the sense carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and calcium, like they will give the options. Okay, so the correct option is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Okay, so like these atoms are joined together to make carbon, hydrogen, in the sense hydrocarbon. Okay, hydrocarbon chains are there, they will form a shape of linear or cycle. Okay, so and it will form the molecules, biomolecules, like, right? So carbon, hydrogen, hydrocarbon, I said, carbon, hydrogen, if oxygen joined in the sense aldehyde. Okay, and only carbon, hydrogen, or carbon, oxygen, ketone. Okay, and if nitrogen added in the sense amine, compound we can get, it will form the amino acid. Okay, if phosphorus come and join, in the sense you see nucleotide ATP, AMP, ADP. Okay, in cyclic form we can get nucleic acid. Okay, nucleotides will form nucleic acid. Okay, so if nitrogen will come and join in the form of amino, so that it will form amino acid. It will form protein. Okay, so based on the atoms arrangement, we can find the structure. Okay, so based on the compound, we can find whatever the active components are present in our plant, whatever the active component present in any plant parts. Okay, or your synthetic compounds, then only we can go for is that giving for disease to cure it or not, like. Okay, so we should know the structure level of the compounds, then only we can find out whatever the healthy compound or nutrition or diseased state or drug, everything, right? Animal and plant cells contain approximately 10,000 kinds of molecules, biomolecules. Yes, of course. Okay, and water constitutes, that is not 50 to 95 percentage, 60 percentage standard. Okay, 60 to 70 percentage standard amount of water present in our cell. And ions like sodium, potassium, calcium may account for another 1%. Yes, of course. Okay, if you talk about the physiology, in the sense brain and heart only focus on the electrolytes. Okay, so what about the resting potential, action potential, polarization, depolarization, repolarization, to function the organ perfectly. Okay, to move through the ion channel. Okay, so every information we are going to study about these ions only maximum, right? So next, almost all other kinds of biomolecules are organic. Yes. Okay, and infinite variety of molecules contain C. Yes, of course. Okay, highly present in the body system of, when compared to all other atoms, carbon highly present. Most biomolecules considered to be derived from hydrocarbons. Yes. I already told you CH. Okay, from the CH only we can derive all those things. The chemical properties of organic biomolecules are determined by the functional group. Yes, I already mentioned the functional groups also. Okay, aldehyde, ketone, and ether, and ester. Okay, so other compounds like phosphatidylinositol, like the atom, if it come and join, in the sense we can classify the um, molecules also, like simple, derived, and also um, mixed, like. Okay, that is complex, right? So because of the presence of their nature. Okay, most biomolecules have more than one. Yes, Shivam, please next. Major classes of small biomolecules. Okay, so I already told you mono unit to make a polymer. Okay, for our protein amino acid. Okay, so building blocks of proteins is 20 common